Are we gonna see his face? We've never. Oh, he's so beautiful. Why? These people so beautiful, man. Why? Why y'all so beautiful? Hi everyone. I'm going to react to Demon Slayer Season 3, Episode 7, Awful Villain. And last episode, we saw a little bit of the Genya's backstory, what happened to him and his brother, their whole family. And he was so hell-bent on beheading this upper level demon, but then he was so small he couldn't do it, so he told Tanjiro to do it. And yeah, Tanjiro was running after the little bitty form of Hantegu. That's his name, right? Yeah, so that's where that ended. We saw a little bit of I don't know why each time I forget his name. Tokito. We saw a little bit of him. He was still stuck in the water prison. Did we see anybody else? That's all I can remember as of now. So that's what happened last episode. And before we get into this one, if you guys like my reaction, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and please consider supporting my Patreon at patreon.com/Philomini. And I'll start this episode. And here we go. The Mu in Moichiro? What does Mu stand for? It probably means something. Mist? I don't know. Something else probably. Yo. Okay. I love this episode, like the ending. Like I love the ending just because, this is a lesson, like real life lesson, When you do good to other people, it always comes back to you, And also when you do bad to other people, it always comes back to you. Like there's justice in the world, There's karma and everything. Moichiro saved Kotetsu. Yeah, Kotetsu. And Kotetsu wound up saving him. He didn't want to do it at first. When Kotetsu was in danger and, he was making his mental calculations about who he needed to save, like the chief and all that, he thought Kotetsu was insignificant compared to everybody else, at least compared to the chief, So he was gonna leave him, and then he remembered what Tanjiro told him about doing good to other people. Was that what he told him? I don't know. But he remembered what Tanjiro told him, and that's what pushed him to save Kotetsu. So in this particular case, he's stuck in this water prison. And even though he was stuck in there, even though I felt worried about him a little bit. I knew he was gonna get out of it. I just didn't know how he was gonna get out of it, So he was in there, especially after Gyoko, I think that's his name. Especially after Gyoko was like, I would love to stay here and watch you die, but I'm gonna go. And what I'm like, the guy's not dead yet, and that you're living. That's a sign that he's not gonna die, So he left. He went to the house, whatever, the cabin that was there, and he left Moichiro alone. So Moichiro was there, and he started hallucinating. At first he said he had a little air. He said there was air left in his left what's the word, lung, and that he was gonna use that for like one final attack. And he did Kasumi no Kokyu Ichi no Kata. Was that the first form? Either way, he did the first form. It didn't work. So he felt like he was gonna die. He imagined the master. He was like, "Master, I'm gonna die, so please send someone else to help," and all that. And he was basically giving up on his life. He felt like someone else would come in and, I guess, try to save him or something. Well, no, not try to save him, but maybe deal with the other demons. Either way. Then he started hallucinating Tanjiro. And then Tanjiro was saying these things to him. Then he's like, you didn't say that to me. So in my mind, I'm thinking maybe he's having some kind of flash. Either he was imagining Tanjiro saying that to him, try to urge him on to keep on living, or since he has trouble with his memories and stuff, it might be someone from his past that told him that, but since he can't really remember that person, then he's imagining Tanjiro in place of that person. He's substituting Tanjiro in that particular moment for that person that was talking to him. And that's exactly what happened. The person that was telling him all those things was his father, but he just didn't remember in that particular moment until the very end, when Kotetsu came in and he had the knives and he was trying to help Moichiro get out of the prison, right? But it wasn't working. And then there was this demon that was coming from behind him, and Moichiro was trying to tell him, like, run away, you can't really do this and everything. But then I did not even think this. I'm like, when he put his mouth on the thing, I'm like, what is he trying to do? And then he just blew air into the prison that Moichiro absorbed, and then he was able to do the second form and get out of it. I'm like, I love that moment, because when he was there and he was talking to him, thinking to himself about how, he was the strongest out of all of them. Everybody else was weaker than him, so they can't really do anything. It was up to him. He overestimated his strength because he was Hashira. Everybody else is weaker, so they're not going to be able to do anything. And it turns out that this weak little person that he saved is the one that actually saved him. So I feel like this is going to change his worldview. I guess it's going to make him a better person, like open his mind more, and not be so like focused on the fact that he's a Hashira. He's stronger than everybody else. He knows more. He knows better than everybody else. No one else can do what he does. At a certain point, that's true. But like, everybody else has something to bring to the table. His mind is gonna be open to that. So that was pretty good. I love that ending. I really did. When Gyoko left, he went inside the cabin, right? And then there was Haganeska. He was making, for some reason, I don't know why, I thought it was someone, like, how Moichiro's sword is all chipped and everything. It's not in good form. I thought the sword that was there was supposed to be his. That they were making a sword for him, or they made a sword and the sword is in the cabin. That's what I was thinking. So when it turned out to be Haganeska, and he was there making his sword, and he was so concentrated on making the sword that Gyoko was getting pissed, because he didn't even register that there was an upper demon there. And when he launched his attack at him, even though he was hurt, he didn't feel it. He was just so focused on this particular sword, on making this particular sword, that nothing else mattered around him. And that focus that he had got on Gyoko's nerves, because he considers himself an artist and whatnot. And when artists are in the zone, they don't really pay attention to anything, But then he felt like Haganeska's concentration was way more than his and stuff. So instead of actually killing him, he wants to get him out of that state. I feel like if he killed him, while he was still so concentrated on his work, that would make him maybe like a better artist. But if he got him out of that state, then he's gonna be like, you just like any regular, I don't know, artist or something like that can be distracted by anything. I don't know, but that is gonna be his downfall, I think. That my question is, that sword that Haganeska is making, is he gonna make it in time? Not anytime he's gonna make it, of course, but I'm saying that is that sword gonna be Tanjiro's or is it gonna be Muichiro's? Because Muichiro is there. Haganeska is making the sword. Tanjiro's always all over there with that demon. So it's not like if they made the sword right now, the one that is in need of it right now is Moichiro. So I'm like, who is it gonna go to? I feel like it's gonna go to Tanjiro eventually. I just don't know if Moichiro is gonna use it in the meantime, you know. But yeah, so that was it with Gyugo. And then we go to Tanjiro. Tanjiro is trying to behead this Hantego, this little form of Hantego. Trying to behead him. And if he was making this screeching noise or something or other like that, I'm like, ugh. And he felt this presence behind him, this other demon that was behind him. He's like, there's another one? Where did this one come from? And I'm like, I've always say enough or something. I'm like, yeah, man, enough. They keep like showing up. And then I'm like, okay, where did this one come from? And that's when Genya basically went through it. I couldn't help but while he was going through how it happened and everything, I couldn't help but imagining the narrator from Hunter and Hunter, during the Ant saga and all that. I couldn't help but imagining him basically going through it. But yeah, so apparently when Tanjiro started beheading Antego when he started beheading Fear, the anger demon basically, did he cut his arm off? Or, I don't know. And then he absorbed all three of them, basically. And then he became this rage demon. And then he was like calling Tanjiro and Nezuko and Genya villains because they were picking on this frail little. I'm like, really? And I feel like this probably has something to do with how and why the human, whoever he was in the beginning, became this demon. The fact that they probably, when he was human, he was weak or something, and he felt picked on and whatnot, and then he became this demon. So it's like, yes, there's that small part of him that's still there, that still feels all those fears and whatnot, and then he created this stronger whatever that's there to protect him, and that hates people that pick on other little bit of stuff. But then you're eating all these humans. You've been eating all these hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of humans for so long, and you're calling Tanjiro and the others villains because they're trying to stop you, like, for real? Whatever, man. Tanjiro's sword, like the reddish, it's not the bright red sword anymore because Nezuko's powers, like, it's gone. So what is he gonna? Tanjiro is all about defeating him, right? But then I'm like, how you gonna do it? How you gonna do that? He was having a hard time enough with the bright red sword. With enough time, he would have been able to cut Hantego Fear's head off. But you don't have that anymore. And then I'm like, I started taking to last season, he defeated, what's his name? Kyutaro. He didn't have a bright red sword then, but he defeated him. But then again, Kyutaro was the upper 6, and this one is the upper 4th, I believe. Yeah, it's the upper 4th. So clearly this guy's stronger than Gyutaro. So I don't know. Maybe he's gonna defeat him after he gets the sword that Haganeska is making. Who knows? So yeah, Haganeska, we saw his face. Why are these people so handsome, man? Haganeska was so handsome. When they took his mask off and everything, he reminded me of sorry, people. Inosuke. He reminded me of Inosuke a little bit, you know? But yeah. Thank you guys for watching, and if you like this reaction, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and if you want to see my reaction to the next episode, you can do so by checking out my Patreon at patreon.com/feelmini, and you can also see the full length for this reaction there as well. So thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye. Slaughterhouse. Go slow. Never gonna slow up and I'm really snap any momentum. Taking a side and go get 'em. They ain't gonna know what hit 'em. Venom.